Mathematics is the subject which is used widely and daily in our life by both educated and uneducated ones because numbers are used in labeling, grouping, calculating, and we see them in everywhere and anywhere we go. But have we ever wondered what is the meaning of these numbers and who started them anyways? Let's find out. You see, early number theory is a branch of mathematics that studies the properties of integers, that is whole numbers, and their relationships. The theory of numbers is one of the oldest branches of mathematics, long before calculus or algebra. Its roots surprisingly goes back to a remote date, although it seems probable that the Egyptians, Babylonians, Chinese and the Indians has provided informations about properties of natural numbers, but the first rudiments of an actual theory are generally credited to Pythagoras and his disciples. Pythagoras was an ancient Greek mathematician and philosopher who lived around 570 to 495 BCE. Our knowledge of the life of Pythagoras is scanty, but it seems that he studied not only in Egypt but may even have extended his journey as far east as Babylonia. After years of roaming around for studies, he founded a school at Croton, which is modernly known as Italy, which is a prosperous Greek settlement on the heel of the Italian route. The school concentrated on 4 subjects of study, that is, arithmetica in the sense of number theory, harmonia in the sense of music, geometria, that is geometry, and astrologia, that is astronomy. The fourfold division of knowledge became known in the Middle Ages as the quadrivium, to which was added the trivium of logic, grammar, and rhetoric. These became the necessary course of study during these days. Not like modern day schools, Pythagoras divided into 2 groups, the listeners and the Pythagoreans. After completing 3 years, the listeners could be initiated to discoveries of the school for becoming the Pythagoreans. For a time, the autocratic Pythagoreans succeeded in dominating the local government in Croton, but due to a popular revolt in 501 BC, its prominent members were killed, and Pythagoras himself was killed shortly after that. Since the Pythagoreans keep everything in secret, it is very difficult to trace the work of Pythagoras and his followers. But among all their writings, we find that 1 represents reason, for a reason could produce only one consistent body of truth. 2 stood for a man. 3 stood for a woman. 4 was the Pythagorean symbol for justice, being the first number that is the product of equals. 5 was identified as marriage because it is formed by the union of 2 and 3. All the even numbers after the first one were capable of separation into other numbers. Hence, they were considered to be prolific and were considered as feminine and earthly and somewhat less highly regarded in general. Being a predominantly male society, the Pythagoreans classified the odd numbers after 2 as masculine and divine. To Pythagoras and his followers, numbers are always connected with thought and philosophy, and they believed that the key to an explanation of the universe lay in the number, and they also formed their general thesis itself, which says that everything is number. It was until the school of Alexandria was founded that a science of numbers parted ways from mystic philosophy. But after 1,000 years, the school of Alexandria was destroyed by the Arabs around 641 AD. After the fall of Alexandria, most of its scholars migrated to Constantinople, and mathematical works of various Greek schools were preserved at Constantinople. It was Alexandrian Museum, a forerunner of the modern university, that brought together the leading poets and scholars of the day. Of all the distinguished names connected with the museum, that of Euclid, which he lived around the 300 BC, founder of the school of mathematics, is in a special class. Euclid is known as the author of the book The Elements, the oldest Greek book. Euclid's Elements is one of the greatest books of world literature. Save the Bible, this book has been more widely circulated or studied with over 1,000 editions of it have appeared since the first printed version in 1482. But unfortunately, these are not Euclid's own work, but just a modern revision which is prepared by Theon of Alexandria, a commentator of the 4th century AD. Now we know how early number theory started.
Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe.